What is up, guys? Welcome to the South Coast. We're set up on the tailgate here today. Going to go over all my chainsaw equipment, make sure everything's still looking good and ready to roll. Let's get to it. So a couple weeks ago, I went and helped a buddy of mine cut down and cut up some storm-damaged oak trees. And to be honest, whenever I got home from that, I just put everything back up in the garage. Didn't really take the time to resharpen the saw or anything like that. So I just want to take a few minutes this morning. It's a beautiful morning here on the South Coast. I'm going to go through all my gear, make sure everything's still good, get everything cleaned up. There's a lot of sawdust and chips up in my chaps that I need to get cleaned out. We'll make sure the saw is sharpened up, check the air filter on it, make sure it's good. We'll probably go ahead and flip the bar because it's been a while since I flipped the bar. Need to flip it to make sure it wears evenly on both sides. And then we'll just make sure we get everything packed back away how it needs to be so it'll be ready to go next time I need it. We are still in the midst of hurricane season. Florida just got hit by 2 major hurricanes. Hopefully we don't have anything else coming out of the Gulf, but I just want to be prepared for it. So go ahead and start with the chaps. We'll get those cleaned out, ready to go, move on to the saw, and then make sure the rest of our gear is good. So, as part of my chainsaw gear, I always keep this logging tape measure on it, just mainly for measuring firewood. I used it a bunch when we were taking down some big white oaks to use in our house build, but for now, basically, I just use it for measuring firewood if I'm concerned about that. I use this aluminum scabbard for my axe. I use a Grand Force Brooks small forest axe. I'll show that to you in a little bit. But I just got this this scabbard from, I think it's Grizzly Peak Enterprises. I believe this is the number 4 size. Doesn't have it written on there. And then I just got a belt from them as well when I was ordering that. So that's basically that. I probably need to put some Obanobs on this belt and get it conditioned, but worry about that another time. And you can also see this little clip that goes with my Silky Zubat. I don't run that all the time, but sometimes it's nice to have a little handsaw on your fallen gear if you need it. That's all looking good. Oh yeah. Scrunch tool, a couple of wedges in here. Bunch of sawdust. These are the Stihl ProMark chaps. They seem to do pretty well. Haven't really had any incidents with them, so can't really tell you how well they work for stopping a chainsaw, but from everything I've seen online, these are about the best you can get for chainsaw chaps. So in my chaps, as you saw, I pulled these wedges out, which made a little contact with them. As you can tell, I'm not a pro guy, not a pro faller, chainsaw guy, anything like that, so I'm glad these wedges are made out of plastic. Keeps from tearing up my chains. So those will go back in this pocket. I'll just keep those right there in that zipper pocket. And then for right now, I just keep this in this pocket. Not the best spot to keep that scrunch, but it keeps it on me, keeps it sort of out of the way. I don't like how it could jab me if I fall on it, but it does all right for now. This rolled back up. Just keep all this rolled up nice and tight with the belt. going to use the clip on the tape measure to sort of hold that in place. So that's that cleaned up, ready to go. Wedges, scrunch tool in there, all good to go. Alright, next thing we're looking at is the saw. Let's go ahead and pop this cover off. We'll take a look at the air filter, make sure it's good and clean, and then we'll move on to sharpening the chain. So I just got this little toolkit I keep in my bag. I got this pouch from Recycled Firefighter. I like it. I wish the zipper was backwards. I had to mark this with an up arrow because it's backwards of how I think the zipper should be. Other than that, good little pouch made out of old fire hose, nice and sturdy. Keep a extra thing of oil in there, some various files, raker file, chain file, handle for the chain file. Keep a backup pull string and handle. It's not the Elastistart that comes on the saw, but it's good enough to get me out of a pinch if I get in a bind. Also keep a spare spark plug in there. Spare scrunch tool. This little Torx tool, which I don't really have a need for on the saw for daily stuff. And then I thought I had a little screwdriver in here for adjusting the carb, but maybe I don't. Oh, and a raker gauge. Yeah, so I guess I'm missing my screwdriver for adjusting the carb, but to be honest, I probably don't need to be adjusting the carb anyway. Let's take this cover off. So it's 3/4 turn screws. Cover comes right off. Air filter is looking good. It comes off like that. That's actually looking pretty good. Not full of a bunch of junk. Pretty clean up in here. I really don't have a ton of hours on this saw, so I didn't really expect it to be dirty or anything. But yeah, it's looking good. That's all good. Let's go ahead and put the cover back on. Gotta make sure that lever goes in the right spot. You can push that cover against it and that can go in properly. Alright, that's that. Alright, we're going to go ahead and sharpen the chain. Set y'all up on a time lapse, but basically what I do is I use this Stihl 2-in-1 file system, and I'll just hit each of the teeth a couple times. They're pretty sharp, not super sharp right now, but they're not in bad shape, so really just hit them a couple times. This 2-in-1, it has the file for the actual gullet of the tooth as well as the raker file on it, so just go through the chain one time with one tool, gets it all knocked out. Alright, now that we got everything sharpened up, we're going to go ahead and take the side cover off, get it all cleaned out. We'll flip the bar and put it all back together. One of my favorite things about this Stihl, this is a MS362. The side cover has those captured bar nuts, so you don't lose them. That's awesome. Alright, one of the major things you want to look out for when you're cleaning this area is your oiler. So this little slot right here, that's where the bar oil gets pushed out of this slot and into the hole on your bar. You need to make sure that that's clean, because if you're not getting oil to your bar, you're going to burn up your bar, burn up your chain. So make sure your oiler's clear. Try to get as much debris out from around your clutch as you can. If you're doing a deep clean, you can take this circlip off of here, pull your sprocket off, and pull that clutch bell out of there and get it cleaned up a bit more. Right now I'm not worried about that, just trying to get the major debris out. I think we're looking alright. Went and got a scraper just to make sure we get all of the stuff out of this bar. Get it all cleaned out. Alright, let's go ahead and get this chain put back on the bar. Gotta make sure it is running the right way. So on the top of your bar, you want your teeth to be pointing forward. On the bottom of the bar, you want them to be pointing back towards the saw. The reason we flip the bar is because the pressure from cutting, most of the cutting you do is going to be on the bottom of the bar. And if you only keep the bar in one position, you don't flip it over, you're going to wear out the bottom of the bar faster than the top. You won't get as much life out of your bar as you would if you did flip it. Kind of like rotating your tires on your truck or car. So make sure you flip that bar every time you sharpen. when you're putting your bar back on, before you tighten down your bar nuts, you'll make sure you got a good tension on it. This is probably needs a little bit more tension, not much. You don't want it to be super tight. You don't want it to spring back like a guitar string or anything like that. But just a little bit of tension to where it's not hanging down when you pick up on the bar. You want to pick up on that bar before you tighten the your bar nuts, because that's going to sort of add some preload to the bar. It'll give you a better idea of how tight that chain is, and if you have the right amount of tension. So that's about where I like it. Go ahead and tighten these down. Check the function of our stop. Looks good. Make sure the rest of our kit is good to go. So put our extra scratch back in here. Our extra bottle of oil goes back in. Get that toolkit closed up. Check our hard hat, make sure it's all good. Got our extra pair of gloves in there. Our Bugs goggles. And our hard hat. Looks like it's all good to go. Looks good there. Keep that just like that. Check our first aid kit. Make sure we got everything we need. 2 tourniquets, some band-aids, some medical tape, a bunch of gauze pads, and a bandage for basically a trauma bandage. We got 2 of those. I think these are called Israeli bandages. We got 2 of those in there. And then we got a little vial of saline solution for washing out eyes and things like that. So get all this put back in here. Get our sharpening tool put back in there. Other things I have in the pack is yet another scrunch. This is not for the saw. I think this is for another piece of Stihl equipment, but it just stays in the bag with all my other gear. Some more oil. You never have too many spare bottles of oil with you. And we stick this down in there. Zip that back up. Check our axe. Like I said earlier, this is the Grand Forest Brooks small forest axe. Still got pretty good edge on it. I mainly use this for pounding wedges. It does the job. It's not too big to carry around on a belt. Doesn't wear you out carrying it around all day. And it's big enough to where you can pound those wedges in to get your trees falling where you want them to fall. I think the edge is alright for now, so we'll leave that alone. I think it looks good. We'll just go ahead and put it back. Find it easier to carry it in the side of the bag whenever I'm transporting things, as opposed to keeping it in the scabbard on my belt. Just fits compact in this bag, easy to throw this bag on your back, walk around with it, carry the saw, the chaps, and your fuel can, and stay pretty well balanced and keep everything else on your back. You're not getting hung up in the brush and stuff like that. So that's it. That's my saw kit. We're going to keep all this stuff together, keep it ready to go at a moment's notice. If we get another storm coming in, I'll pretty much just move all this stuff into the truck. We'll keep it in the truck with us, just in case I happen to be at work when a storm comes through and I have to cut trees and make my way back to the house or vice versa, or if storm comes through and I just know there's people that need some help, I can hop in the truck. I know everything's there ready to go. We can go help people out as it's needed. So that's it. Alright guys, that's going to wrap this video up. We got the saw ready, we got it sharpened, cleaned up, ready to go. Got all of our kit cleaned up, got all that sawdust out of my chaps. We got everything put back together, ready to go, ready to roll whenever we might need it. We're going to get it all put back in the garage for now. But anyway, if you liked this video, hit that thumbs up. Leave me a comment down in the comment section. If you keep a saw kit ready to go for storm response or anything like that, let me know what you keep in it. If there's anything I'm missing that you think would be a good addition, let me know. I'm always down to learn new things and try different pieces of kit and stuff like that. So let me know what you keep in your saw kit that's different from mine. I'm going to have some links down in the description to some of these products. Obviously not all of them are going to be available to buy online. I don't think Stihl really offers any of their gear online, but go find your local Stihl dealer, make friends with them down there, and get a chainsaw kit going. Anyway, click that subscribe button if you haven't already. Like I said, hit that thumbs up if you like this video. Leave me a comment down in the comment section. As always, I hope y'all have a good one. We'll catch you next time down here on the South Coast.